I always thought there should be a sanctuary for chickens. Chickens always come to the bottom of the pile. In any other sanctuary, in some cases they're just there to make up the numbers and they don't get the care that they need. Chickens don't have a sanctuary of their own except here at Hen Heaven. And here I can take in hundreds and hundreds at a time and give them a much better quality of life. I know, I'm a horrible mother. That's a battery cage, you can't do the words.
And I think it's absolutely amazing what Linda does and how she keeps going, because she does need a lot of help with all these birds. And a lot of them are parsley, a lot of them are cockles, if you can hear, no doubt. So they're non-productive. So, you know, there's an awful lot of effort goes into looking after them all, and there's not a lot of revenue from it, really.
The eggs we produce here are 1,000,000 times better than battery eggs. Everybody says so. I say they're laid the old-fashioned way. You know, the chickens can go wherever they like to lay the egg. We have to then find them. They eat a lot of nettles, which puts iron into the egg. They can forage, they can do exactly what they like here. And there's no stress. I think that's very important as well. There's absolutely no stress for them. So, of course, the quality of their egg is going to be much better. And I'm very insistent that the feed they have doesn't have yolk colorants in it. So the colour of their yolk is completely natural, just from what they're eating, the green stuffs and everything else they're eating. And the yolk colours are wonderful, really deep yellow.
I just really do whatever Linda tells me to do. It could be cleaning out, collecting eggs, boxing up eggs, candling eggs.
Chickens are far more intelligent than most people think. I think perhaps they use their whole brain, which is more than can be said for a lot of humans. They remember very, very well, they learn very well. If you give them a name, they'll respond to their name. But what's wonderful about them is if you rescue them from a battery cage, they put their whole life, bad former life, behind them. And I say they literally grab their new life with both wings.
There are 4 or 5 hens crammed into nasty little cages, as you probably know. And they have like a sheet of A4 paper to live on each. That's all the space they have. They can hardly move in there.
If you can imagine hell and then double it, that's about it. I mean, you've seen them here. They roam miles, they scratch, they're never still, unless they're sunbathing. And they won't see any sun in an enriched cage. And I sincerely hope that the ban is enforced in 2012 and there are no more cages. I'd be happy to wield the sledgehammer and break them up. There is no way that a battery unit or a broiler unit is humane. No way on this earth is it humane. It's denying the birds everything they want to do. I've had them brought in here with huge wounds, right down to the bone, where the other hens had been pecking at them and they had just pecked and pecked and pecked, and of course they couldn't get away. You get them with broken wings, broken legs. Most of those you can mend. In fact, the girl with the huge wound, I did heal her, and she lived for several years. And of course they're all debeaked, so they can't eat properly. And they just get the same rubbishy food all the time, just dry mash. Dry mash gives them respiratory problems, so they're automatically given antibiotics in their feed or their water. And all those antibiotics, of course, are going into the eggs.
The ban on battery cages, which is meant to come into force in the European Union in 2012, was under threat. And the industry is saying things like, it'll be too expensive to take them out of the cages, we'll have to put the price up so much, and various arguments like that. Whereas, of course, it's not going to cost people an awful lot of money to buy cruelty-free eggs, and an awful lot of people are quite prepared and already don't have caged eggs. What does appall me, the fact that so many caged eggs are still being bought, and I don't know whether it's because people don't understand the conditions in the cage or if they just don't care.
These make the most wonderful pets. They will follow you around, they will show interest in everything you're doing. When my dad used to come out here and help, I always knew where he was because there'd be a whole semicircle of turkeys sitting watching him. And they love being stroked, which is quite unusual for birds because they don't like being touched normally. But turkeys love it. And when it's cold in the winter, I put my hands under their wings to warm my hands up, don't I? And she was going to be a Christmas dinner. And that was 5 years ago. This is what they look like when they come in from a battery unit. They have very little feathering. The reason they don't have feathering is because that tail feather sticking up. They are so bored. They are bored out of their brains that as soon as somebody starts to grow a feather, somebody else pulls it out. What I do here is not even one little drop in an ocean. You know, I wish I had so much more land and more help. And then I'd take in more and more and more birds. I really do.